What up? What up? What up, y'all? I'm back in the building. Hey, I just got to start this episode off right here by saying, try me 100 times. Wanted me to love, wanted me to cry, wanted me to die. But I'm staying alive, staying alive, staying alive. All right, I quit. Damn, Drake. Hey, the song kind of cheesy, I ain't gonna lie to you, but that little hook so catchy. Oh my God, that shit been sitting in my head for like 3 days ever since MJ called me with that foolishness. But anyway, welcome back, y'all. I'm back. I just ran a solo mission tonight. I don't know where my boy Kramm was at. He said 8, 9 o'clock, but I knew I couldn't rely on Buddy like that. Not to say I couldn't, but I just know better than to play with MJ. This is my baby brother, y'all. Y'all gotta understand. I just know what time it is with this man. So tonight is just gonna be me. Wanted to make sure I got it in this week. The plantation been getting it out of me this week, y'all. I ain't gonna hold you. Gave him 12 of them 10 yesterday. Oh, had to be back at 6, 7 o'clock this morning. My God. Just ain't really been able to make no time. But we made time tonight. We're not going to make excuses. What we're going to do is make shit happen. We here tonight. I'm not going to be before y'all long tonight. I just have a couple things I would like to hit on. I actually have 4 topics lined up for us. The first one will start in the NBA, right? And it'll start with the only thing that anybody has been talking about in the NBA for like the last month and a half now is Kevin Durant. Well, only 2 things. Kevin Durant getting traded and then the Kyrie Irving getting traded to the Lakers. Vice versa, the Lakers trading for Kyrie Irving. Only things really getting talked about in basketball this offseason besides the Steph Curry hate that I don't know where it be coming from at all times. But like I told MJ the other day, he just starting to get that Bron treatment. You start to get to a point to where like you so great, they got to hate. Mic drop. Anywho, so KD the other day basically told the Nets ownership, but if y'all either got to choose your ball or y'all got to choose them ball. Them ball being Steve Nash, head coach, Sean Marks, general manager. And I think what it really came down to, everybody for a quick little minute about a month ago, whenever the Kyrie Irving contract thing happened, and then KD was like, I'm gonna request a trade. Everybody's kind of like, oh, they beefing, they not friends no more, yada yada. They not. I personally think KD was still in play that they didn't offer Kyrie that contract. And so now he's sitting there looking at it like, yeah, I still got 4 years on my deal, but I signed my 5-year deal in good faith that y'all was going to give Kyrie a long-term deal. So since y'all didn't give Kyrie a long-term deal, we play together next year, but then that puts me here for 3 more years without Kyrie Irving. I don't want to do that. It's not what I signed up for. When I put my name on the dotted line, people, and I'll let y'all get the John Hancock brother, I'll say, hey, y'all signing Kyrie, y'all extending Kyrie next season, huh? Y'all say, yeah. So now KD feeling like Sean Marks then lied to him. At least this is just my opinion. KD feeling like Sean Marks then lied to him. Kyrie is still his boy. If you ride with one of your homies, you feel me? You gonna ride with your homie. I'm not riding with the other side. So that's 1. 2, I think he don't like Steve Nash as the head coach. That's nothing at Steve Nash the individual. I don't know, obviously him and Steve Nash's relationship. I don't think his relationship has any, or his disdain has anything to do with Steve Nash personally. I think the disdain comes from he don't think Steve Nash can coach. He was playing against the Celtics and he watching the Celtics run plays and sets with Marcus Smart as their point guard, dear word. And what is our offense? KD, go get a bucket. KD one-on-one isolation. Kyrie one-on-one isolation. It's no offense. It's no sets. The man trying to hoop. Like, if I want to play 21, G, I could have just went to the park. I'm trying to hoop. G, can we get a little ball movement, a little player movement? Can we get some plays called, some backdoor cuts, some slashes, some screens? You know what I mean? Like, the homie not just trying to play your turn, my turn isolation basketball, i.e. exactly why he left Oklahoma City to begin with. And is exactly why he chose the Warriors when he left Oklahoma City. Because I'm not trying to play your turn, my turn isolation basketball. Gee, I'm trying to play 5-man team ball movement, player movement. Everybody just want to dribble the fucking air out the rock. Y'all relax, bro. Move the pill. You want to sit on the pill for 16 of the 24-second shot clock and then pass to somebody. There ain't no time left on the clock to do nothing other than jack up a goofy ass shot. It's like, bros, niggas not trying to play like that. So I think In turn, because of Steve Nash's lack of coaching ability, because Sean Marks decided, well, we're not going to extend Kyrie. And because of those two things, KD just like, bro, I'm not fooling with y'all like that. And I think what he did was actually pretty smart by coming out, making it public and saying it's either me or them. Because what that does in turn is now it's like, so what? Y'all think all three of them boys just finna pull up on the first day of training camp like everything all good in the hood? Do not think so, bros. I would not put my good hard-earned money on that. No, bros. Those relationships are severed. Those bridges are burned, and now we must move on. So I think what he's kind of done, and obviously Josiah still has the overall say because if I don't want to trade you, I don't have to trade you. I'm the owner. We signed contracts. I have you locked in 5 years. But it's gonna be a very, 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 very awkward meeting room. Very, very, very awkward practices. Very, very, very awkward flights. And it's just like it sucks because I know on one side with the owners, they're like, well, we don't want the players to start thinking they could just decide, oh, well, if I don't want to be here, I'm going to just make the environment toxic and it's going to force you to trade me. And the owners are like, well, no, 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 no. On one side, we're not letting that fly, right? But at the same time, as an owner, as somebody who wants to create a great culture and a winning establishment, you don't want that toxicity within your locker room. So then it leaves you at the point of what do you do? Rocking a hard place is what they call that. If I was Josiah, honestly, bro, it's just for the sake of entertainment for basketball. Trade KD. I don't know where you trade KD. Trade KD. I know the homies down in the boot don't want him in New Orleans. And to be honest, I actually understand why and I feel them, but y'all tripping. If y'all won a championship in New Orleans, I love BI just as much as the next man. I think BI is elite. But if y'all get KD for 4-5 years, with Zion, promise y'all, brother. And then let Kyrie go play with Bron. And let's see what that do one more time. But obviously we can see this next shit. It was doomed from the start. It was a shit show from the time they fired the opening gun. And it has not gotten any better. It's actually gone the complete opposite direction. The most y'all did was win one playoff series. And the team y'all won that playoff series against came back the next year and swept the shit out of y'all. And that was actually some close games, but y'all still got swept nevertheless. So it's just like, yeah, bros, y'all tried to swing for the fences. And, I respect it. I was just listening to a Nipsey track earlier. Nip say, scared money ain't never made a fucking purchase. So Josiah, Sean Marks, I don't blame y'all for swinging for the fences, bros. But you missed. You missed. You had 3 Hall of Fame players, 3 of the game's most talented individuals in the game today. But you couldn't get it done. You didn't even get to an Eastern Conference Finals. You won 1 playoff series in 3 years. Chalk it up as an L, brother. Get what you can for KD and Kyrie and move on. And just like that, we are going to do the same thing. We are going to move on. Make sure y'all follow Big Bet Sports, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, all your social medias. We are also live on Apple, Spotify, Google Play, wherever you get your podcast. So if you could do your boy a favor, please tap in, subscribe, share. We greatly appreciate that. We want to make sure we stay consistent, and we appreciate y'all for tapping in with us. That helps us to remain consistent. So moving on. For topic number 2, we are going to get off the NBA. There's nothing left NBA-wise to talk about. I guess unless you want to talk about old Paolo and DeJounte Murray was beefing on the internet. And the one thing I would just tell y'all is, fellas, y'all grown men. Why y'all arguing back and forth over the internet, people? Brother, y'all get that out via text. That's just like some women. Want everybody in their business. Pim. Y'all handle that behind closed doors. There's absolutely no reason for y'all to exchange them words on Instagram story instead of via text message. But it just goes to show you that niggas literally do absolutely everything for show. Everything is for a fucking show. They want the whole world to be involved in everything. Why does it matter? Anywho, I ain't gonna get caught up on that because then I'll really get lost in the sauce. Moving on to the NFL. To that old fail, because on tomorrow we will have preseason football. I forget who playing tomorrow. I know the Steelers play Saturday, and that's all I'm really worried about as of right now. Get to see what one of these or all three of these quarterbacks gonna do. But obviously, being a big LSU fan, as you can tell by the cover art of the Big Bet Sportscast, and y'all that know me, knowing where I'm from and how I get down, y'all know I really ride with the LSU Tigers. That includes any and everybody that put on that purple and gold that represent. That includes OBJ. And I won't lie to y'all, I was hurt when I seen OBJ go down in the Super Bowl. Just being a fan of his, obviously I don't know the guy personally, don't know what type of work he put in, but being a fan of his, he's very entertaining, seems like a very good dude. And he's from that boot. We want everybody from that boot to win. So it really hurt when I seen him go down, and the timing of him going down, tearing an ACL in the Super Bowl, knowing the time it takes to recover from an ACL, not to mention he looked like he could very well have been having an MVP type afternoon that particular day in the Super Bowl against the Cincinnati Bengals. It now leaves us here about 6 months removed or so, and we're now in a place of, he's maybe about 4 months or so ready to return for action, which is kind of putting him later part of the season, week 12, 10 to 12 type of thing. And he's yet to be signed. And so I just think, well, where's the best landing spots for OBJ? And I have three pretty good spots. And three pretty good spots. Two of them I know for sure would even be able to sustain without OBJ, and they would only get better when he came back healthy in time to make a playoff run. The first team is the team that pursued him the first time when he was seeking a trade from the Cleveland Browns, and that is the Green Bay Packers. And that's obvious to me and everybody else that knows anything about the NFL, follows the NFL. I mean, as we know, Pim, you just let Devontae walk. You just let Valdez-Scantling walk. Pim, you ain't got no receivers in Green Bay. Y'all need receivers bad. Bad. Now, I do think they could hold on because they have Aaron Rodgers. I do think Aaron Rodgers will still have them as a playoff team. I could go play receiver and Aaron Rodgers and have us as a playoff team. But the thing that I wonder for an OBJ again, and everybody talk about culture matters. Your location matters. Where you're playing at matters. I don't know if OBJ is feeling Green Bay like that as a location, nor do I know if he's feeling Aaron Rodgers like that as an individual, because Aaron can be very up and down. He don't know if and it's like OBJ. I'm not going to go play in Green Bay unless it's on a 1-year deal, prove a deal kind of thing. Show I'm healthy, make a playoff run with the Packers, look good, and then maybe get a long-term deal after that. Other than that, I'm not trying to go play with the Packers. For what? I don't know when Aaron Rodgers leaving. But for this season and this season alone, the Packers would be a good choice for Odell Beckham Jr. Long term, would not say the Packers. Number 2, I think the second best location for him to go to will be the Baltimore Ravens. Another team with a dynamic quarterback, but this quarterback, obviously, his dynamic is a little bit different. The horse shit of Lamar can't throw the football is exactly just that, horse shit. Okay, we seen Hollywood Brown catch the when he chose to catch the football, because we're not going to act like Hollywood Brown ain't show a case of butterfingers a couple times here and there in critical moments of football games. Hollywood Brown caught hundreds of passes from Lamar Jackson. Who y'all talk about can't throw. And I'm talking about I've seen passes put in the bread basket. The Ravens will be able to sustain for first 10 to 12 weeks without Odell. Why? Because we're a running-based team. We're a Lamar Jackson-based team, centric team. Everything on 8. LJ era 2. And when he comes back, all it does is open the field up. Now, corner safeties have to show a little bit more respect to this elite assassin out here on the outside. And I know he's a couple ACL injuries in, and we don't know what he'll be going forward, obviously. But my thing is, I look at OBJ and I see a guy crisp route running, amazing hands, soft touch, ball catch everything come his direction damn near, unless it's coming from Baker midfield. And at that point, we know who to put the blame on. But it's like I look at a guy like Odell, and I just know we're not asking you to come over here and be 100-catch wide receiver. I think we can all about agree that Odell's 100-catch days are probably behind him. And there's nothing wrong with that. We've probably seen the best of Odell, but that there's no shame in that. And part of that is because the best of Odell was such a high peak. It's tough to remain that elite for forever when we have this physical shell that naturally deteriorates. So this has nothing to do with Odell, the football player. The shell just deteriorates. So no, we're not asking for a 100-catch receiver out of Odell, but y'all gonna show fucking respect Odell on this outside over here. Y'all not gonna leave that ball in one-on-one coverage. That safety gonna keep an eye on Odell. You're not bringing your CB3 out here to guard Odell. So it's just like, I think that helps them in the running game in Baltimore. The field is a little more open to make decisions, and it gives Lamar a sure hands pass catcher outside of Mark Andrews to be able to rely on when it comes time to putting the football in the air. So that would be that. The third team that I think could use Odell, and as I came up on this third team, it's actually kind of ironic, and it's probably a bit different. No, I'm not about to say the Patriots. I know everybody's been talking about Odell to the Patriots, same as the Packers, pretty much since and the Ravens, pretty much since the Cleveland thing came out when he wanted to be traded from Cleveland earlier last year. But ironically enough, I think Odell could be utilized in Tennessee. The thing about Tennessee is, I don't know if they can sustain, if they'll be a playoff team by the time Odell comes back. That's my issue with them. And I called it ironic because fellow former Rams wide receiver who tore his ACL and ended up out for the season the day OBJ got to LA just ended up in Tennessee. And, you know, Robert Woods is a great receiver, but y'all need more than just Robert Woods on the outside. And you're not going to be able to just run the football, pound the football with Derrick Henry. You saw what that did to him last year. Again, this physical shell, shit is not made of steel. It does deteriorate. It does break down. And so you cannot just run guys into the ground. That has an effect. That has a huge effect. And you need help on the outsides. I personally, outside of Robert Woods, I can't name you another Titans receiver. I can't name you the Titans tight end. And when I can't name somebody, it's actually doing pretty bad because I could almost name everybody. So for the Tennessee Titans, you have Ryan Tannehill, who's a very, very serviceable quarterback. Ryan Tannehill is very serviceable. We've seen it last year. Now, obviously, we also seen you throw 3 interceptions and lose your team the game, which they had 9 sacks. Okay. But he's still a serviceable guy. He got you the number 1 seed in the AFC with Derrick Henry missing half the season. So, very serviceable guy. You keep Derrick Henry. Obviously, that's where you lean on. That's your bread and butter. But then on top of that being your bread and butter, you also got OBJ on the outside, Robert Woods on the outside. Come playoff time, you need somebody to make a big one-on-one play. Somebody who's not afraid of the moment. Somebody who's not afraid to be in tight one-on-one coverage and be able to get loose and goose and jiggy with it. That's Odell Beckham Jr. And the Titans could use that. You're going to need that. It's going to come a point in the season where you're going to need that. It's going to come a point in the postseason where you're going to need that. And if y'all are going to be where y'all were last year, and I don't think you will, to be honest. I think the Colts will win the division this year. But if the Titans are going to be back where they were last year, you're going to need some wide receiver play. You're not just going to be able to run the football with Derrick Henry and think you're going to run the football, play defense. That sound good, but you got to be able to put the ball in the air, bro, and you got to be able to have guys to put the ball in the air too. So those would be my 3 landing spots for Odell Beckham Jr. in order as far as just playing out basically what to me would be the latter part of the season and then the postseason, making a postseason run, and then trying to get a long-term deal from there. That would be number 1, the Green Bay Packers. Number 2, the Baltimore Ravens. And number 3, the Tennessee Titans are the last team that I believe, at least of the top 3, that could really use Odell Beckham Jr. and would be a good landing spot for him. I think he could get off in all of those places, show himself in all of those places, and then potentially earn himself some money from all of those places. All right, y'all. 2 more topics left. We're at about 20 minutes right now. For all of you who tuned in live, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, I greatly appreciate y'all on this evening, giving me a little bit of your time on this Wednesday night. I greatly do appreciate that, especially y'all out on the Central Standard Time, y'all out on the East Coast. I appreciate it. So, next topic, y'all. We're going to get into a little bit of the big bets segment, and we're going to talk a number real fast, a total number of wins. And it is for the Jacksonville Jaguars, who last season drafted Trevor Lawrence, number 1 overall. Trevor Lawrence was one of the highest rated prospects coming out of high school, going into college. And I think Trevor Lawrence only lost a combined 4 games in high school and college, 2 in high school, 2 in college. So, amazing quarterback, great guy, a lot of potential. And then you have the problem of last year you ran out Urban Meyer as a head coach. And see, every time I talk football with somebody, it don't matter how good the quarterback is. I mean, it do, yeah. But the organization is what matters. Great quarterback, shitty organization, piss poor results. That's just what's going to happen, right? Success will not be sustainable with a shitty organization. You might, how they say that, people strike lightning in a bottle, maybe one season, win 12, 13 games, make a conference championship run, but it's not sustainable. Let me give you the prime example of a phenomenal organization, the Pittsburgh Steelers. And although we haven't won a championship in a little over a decade now, the Steelers are a consistent playoff team, which means every season you give yourself a chance to be one of the last 14 teams with an opportunity to win a championship. The Steelers have not had a losing season under Mike Tomlin's tenure. Mike Tomlin has also been the Pittsburgh Steelers head coach for as long as I've been a fan of the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I've been a fan of the Pittsburgh Steelers for a very, very, very long time. He's almost running up on a decade. It's not a lot of coaches as tenured as long as he is. I think Bill might be the only coach in the league that is longer tenured than Mike Tomlin. And also, which goes to show, the Patriots are also another phenomenally ran organization. Well, they were. I don't know what they got going on right now. We'll see. But, so with that being said, the question is, do y'all think the Jags will win over 6.5 games? They did hire Doug Peterson. Doug Peterson was the head coach of the Philadelphia Eagles when they Philly special Tom Brady. Doug Peterson was also the head coach of the Philadelphia Eagles when Carson Wentz was 2 or 3 games away from being a regular season MVP as well that very same year. So clearly Doug Peterson, he's shown that he can get his quarterbacks to play at a very high level. He won the Super Bowl with Nick Foles, who was a career backup quarterback. Carson Wentz, who hasn't really been able to look like much of anything since that season. You would say Doug Peterson was able to pull the best out of him there. And so now he's out here with Trevor Lawrence. The Jags did a Jags. I think y'all paid Christian Kirk all kind of ridiculous money. I don't think that was wise, but Christian Kirk is a solid receiver. I just don't think he's $80-some-odd million solid, but it'll definitely be a nice target for Trevor Lawrence. Travis Etienne will be back. Obviously they have a lot of familiarity playing at Clemson together. Travis Etienne is a Louisiana boy. Shout out to you from OP. Shout out that man. So the Jags offense will be a lot nicer this year. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through their schedule. And we're just going to say win-loss, and let's see if we get to at least 7 wins. Jags and the Commanders, week 1. I actually think the Jags will upset the Commanders week 1. The Commanders are a 3.5-point road or home favorite. I think the Jags will get that game. So we give the Jags 1 win. Week 2, at home to the Colts, the Jags will lose. Week 3, on the road to the Chargers, the Jags will lose. Week 4, on the road to the Eagles, the Jags will lose. Week 5, at home against the Texans, divisional matchup, I think the Jags can get that game. Trevor Lawrence versus Davis Mills, Doug Peterson, Lovie Smith. I like the Jags in that game. So right now, through 5 games, we have them at 2-3. The Jags on the road against the Colts. Divisional matchup, because I gave the Colts the first one, I'll give the Jags the second one. They managed to get the Colts at an opportune time, especially for us Steelers fans last year. So I'll give them a game against the Colts. So we'll put them at 3-3 through 6 weeks. Giants at home, week 7. I like the Jags. I just don't like the Giants. I don't like Daniel Jones. We'll see what they do out there with them, but don't like the Giants. Don't like their organization as well. Just as far as the structure of how it's ran on a consistent basis, we give it to the Jags. Jags against the Broncos. Broncos will probably get y'all. That'll be week 8, so that puts y'all at 4-4. Week 9 against the Raiders. Raiders will probably get y'all. That's a tough gauntlet. Actually, you'll probably lose 4 straight. The Broncos, the Raiders, the Chiefs, the Ravens. Good word. So that will put you at 1, 2, 3, 4 wins through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 weeks. So through 11 weeks, I have the Jags at 4-7. Through 11 weeks, 4-7. Week 12, you get the Lions on the road. You should be able to get the Lions. That'll put you at 5-7. Then you get the Titans and the Jags, or the Titans and the Jags. The Jags get the Titans on the road. Probably give that to the Titans. What are we at now, y'all? 5-8. Then we go with the Cowboys at home. Probably get out to the Cowboys. 5-9. Ooh, we get tight. 5-9. That's 3 games left, and we need 2 wins. You close the season against the Jets, the Texans, and the Titans one more time. The Jets on the road, you'll be in New York for that one. The Texans on the road, you'll be in Houston for that one. And then you'll get the Jags or the Titans at home to close the season. Over 6.5 wins. Damn, I want to believe in y'all, Jacksonville. I want to believe in y'all. And it's crazy because the books be so good because I know y'all going to end up with either 6 or 7 wins. That will be your total. 6 or 7 wins. Y'all remember I told y'all that. The Jags will end the season with 6 or 7 wins. As a betting man, let's go to stations and let's see what the odds are for the Jags win total. And depending on the number, as far as the odds, that will let me know on if I would tell you, because I do think they're going to go under. Let me just say that first. I think it's going to go under the 6.5. I think they're going to end up at 6 wins. I think there'll be a 6-10 win team, a 6-11 type of team, 17 games on 6-11. Again, it's just so hard for me to put my trust in an organization like the Jags. Hey, Ski, if you watching this, bros, it ain't no offense to your organization either, bros. Honestly, for your sake, I hope they get their shit together. Be quite honest with you. I hope they don't waste a number 1 draft pick like Trevor Lawrence, bros, to be quite honest with you. But right now, they got to show me, my brother. They got to show me people. But anyway, getting back to that. So the Jags, damn, yeah, see, the over is at plus 120. The under is at minus 150. So I would say the books are kind of operating with me and leaning towards the under because, yeah, bros. Again, it's the Jags. Doug Peterson, great coach, but let's just need to see it, bros. Y'all barely won 2 games last year. You know, to jump 5 wins from one year to the next, as you know, that's doing a lot. So good luck to y'all, Jags. But so in that segment right there, y'all, we did come up with the Jags under. Now the value one at minus 150. I don't want to bet a juice number like minus 150, especially something that I think is going to be very borderline. So am I going to be betting this? Absolutely not. But if you want to bet it, if you want to lay the 150, by all means, please go ahead. I would take the under personally, but that's just me, and I'm not laying the 150. Alrighty then. Last topic of the day. Zach Jones, you'd probably want to tune in for this one, although we pretty much had this conversation last night. So, here's my rant of the day. Y'all know I usually rant at least once a week. I need to. It's soothing, refreshing. therapeutic. And what we're going to rant today is the ridiculousness I hear spewed on the quarterbacks in the NFL today. Who's good, who's not, who's that guy, who's not, who's the best, who's the second best. And you see it all the time. It's like guys that the league kind of wants to coin, guys that the league wants to be great. So I'll tell you the ones I've seen since I've been paying attention and watching football, the guys that have been pushed that the league really, really, really wanted to be great. Andrew Luck, Josh Allen, Justin Herbert. Now, I do think all three of those guys are excellent quarterbacks. Right now, there's sort of this misnomer, if you will, that Justin Herbert is on the heels of one Patrick Mahomes, and Josh Allen is surpassed one Patrick Mahomes, or in some's eye, at worst, he's neck and neck with Patrick Mahomes. The fuck he is. What the bruh. I understand y'all want him to be successful. I understand after we see somebody reach the mountaintop, we kind of done with them, and then we want to see the next person climb. But again, like I said about Steph earlier, when you great, it's easy to hate. Okay. So now I sit here and I'm looking at a coach said something the other day about, you take away Patrick Mahomes' first read, and the rest of it is backyard football. Backyard football put 50 touchdowns on your asses, brother. That was your backyard football. I hate the fact that y'all be saying this shit and y'all never put no names on it. Backyard football, knowing Patrick Mahomes probably came to your building and left with 6 passing TDs. And you going to sit up here and talk about, well, after you take away his first read, it's backyard football. Well, bitch, learn how to stop backyard football. Because clearly y'all struggling. Y'all talk all of this about, Patrick Mahomes, he was this and that last year. Peep, them ball played in the AFC. Brother, ball was up. I can't remember. Was it 21-3 at halftime of the AFC champ? They were literally 2 quarters away from the Super Bowl. What are y'all talking about? If a down year for them is being 2 quarters away from the Super Bowl, well, then we have a long fucking NFL life ahead of us with Patrick Mahomes. If a down year is 2 quarters away from the Super Bowl. Zach brought this up to me last night. I'm very glad he brought it up, Zach Jones. I'm here for you, God, bros, because Patrick Mahomes is for sure still the best quarterback in the NFL. At least if y'all said Tom Brady, I'd be like, all right, cool. Y'all know I can't argue that. When you start saying shit like Justin, the ball has not played a game the first in the playoffs. The first year Patrick Mahomes was a starting quarterback in Kansas City, the ball was literally a pre-snap penalty away from the Super Bowl. Justin Herbert has not played in the goddamn playoffs yet. And y'all gonna mention this man's name in the same breath as Patrick Mahomes? Where's the respect? There is none. That's the problem with a lot of people in this day. They ain't no respect. Josh Allen. Oh, whoa, Pete, give it a rest. Oh, y'all been trying to hype Josh Allen way since that ball come from Wyoming. He good, brother. He been improving every year. Yes, Pete, we get it. We understand. Josh Allen, keep getting better, brother. Keep growing. You're not Mahomes ball. Let me tell you why you're not Mahomes ball. Zach brought this up to me last night. Let me get my little notes out here for y'all. Actually, it's just my Safari. Shout out to Google. Shout out to the 21st century. It's not too much you should know in this day and age because you have unlimited knowledge at your fingertips. Whatever, we'll talk about that another day. Anywho, last year, I'm going to give y'all 2 people's stats and just let y'all marinate on them for a second. First guy, 4,400 yards, 36 touchdowns, 15 interceptions, 92.2 passer rating. Run it again. 4,400 yards, 36 touchdowns, 15 interceptions, 92.2 passer rating. That's the first guy. Okay, remember that. Second guy, 4,800 yards, 37 touchdowns, 13 interceptions, 98.5 passer rating. So what I just said is 4,800 yards, 37 touchdowns, 13 interceptions, 98.5 passer rating. So guy 2 had 400 more passing yards, 1 more touchdown, 2 less interceptions, and 6 more passer rating points. First guy was Josh Allen. Second guy was Patrick Mahomes. So in the year in which y'all said was Patrick Mahomes' worst year, and statistically it was. Statistically it was. As far as the interceptions go. As far as the interceptions go. Second worst year since he's been starting as far as the touchdowns go. By 1. 50, 38, 37. And he had a 20-some-odd year touchdown. So the best year Josh Allen had, or basically the peak of his powers, because the year before Josh Allen, 37 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, 107.2 passer rating. That's a phenomenal fucking passer rating, Josh Allen. 4,500 yards. Second year, 4,400 yards, 36-15, 92. So the passer rating went down a little bit. His passer rating dropped 15 points from year 1 to year 2. But everything else is pretty much the same. He threw 5 less picks, but he's pretty much the same guy. So Josh Allen pretty much is what he is. This is pretty much about the peak of Josh Allen. Close to about 35 to 40 touchdowns, anywhere between 10 and 15 interceptions. That's Patrick Mahomes on a bad year, according to y'all. So what I'm saying is, bros, all these people y'all be wanting to put in Patrick Mahomes category, it's levels. It's levels. It's levels to good. It's levels to great. It's levels to excellent. It's levels to phenomenal. And a lot of great quarterbacks in the NFL. And then there's Patrick Mahomes. So all this shit y'all talk about Josh Allen and Justin Herbert and all these other quarterbacks y'all trying to people, let's just give that a rest, brother. Let's give that ball got this shit on the chokehold, man. My home ball. I know y'all seen that video when that ball hit that goalpost from 30 yards out, that ball behind his back, and he did it again with his left hand. Come on, y'all stop playing with that man. Y'all stop playing with that man, brother. Y'all put some respect on that man name. What that ball been starting for 4 years, and what has he played in? 4 AFC championships? Is it 4? Is it 4? Is it 4? Is it 4? In 4 years? No. Is it 4? No. Y'all better stop playing with this boy Patrick Mahomes, bro. That would be the one thing I would suggest. The disrespect to, Tyreek Hill going, about to see if it was Tyreek Hill. If it was Tyreek Hill, y'all cut the crap, bro. Oh, whoa. We done seen talented, speedy, shifty, quick receivers before. Play with shit water quarterbacks and end up with shit water results. So no, people, it was not Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill is an amazing football player. He's a ridiculous athlete. Sometimes I see that ball moving. I don't know if he human. But people, guess what? Ball do not hold a candle to Patrick Mahomes. So, on that note, y'all, I will be done today. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. We're running that right up on about 40 minutes. Those are just my takes, my opinions on a couple topics. I'm going to definitely be getting it in this week. I'm going to have a couple guests on this week. I know my boy Sean Thomas is going to come on. Miss my ball, bright ball, bro. We're going to talk some LSU football. I'm going to try to get a lot of guests on this weekend. I'm going to shoot a bunch of episodes this weekend and then kind of release them as I have time. But I have a couple days off over the next couple of days. And that'll just allow me to get a lot of work done over those couple of days so I have content to continue pushing to y'all throughout the weeks, throughout the season, because, again, we are here for football season. It's live. It's time. So one more time before I head out, if I could ask y'all to make sure you follow us at Big Bet Sports on all social medias, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Twitch, YouTube. Again, we are also on Apple, Spotify, Google Play, wherever you get your podcasts. We are all over the world. So make sure y'all tune in with us. We would greatly appreciate that. Y'all tap in, stay tuned. I will be back. Promise y'all, I will be back at some point tomorrow. I actually might be back early in the morning tomorrow with another live. Once the lives go live, a little while later, they'll be out on your podcast platform. So once again, I appreciate y'all for tapping in with me. Grandpa K will be signing out on tonight. Remember,